Of Marcell Davidson. We have a loaded night coming your way from Seoul, South Korea, the Kintex Arena. The fans continue to file in. It is just after 12 noon here in Seoul. Happy holidays to you.
Country and facing another undefeated fighter.
You'd love to see it.
Well, the fans are certainly very excited. They were clapping before even the first bell. Yoon Han, undefeated. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall at 50% knockout percentage, 25 years of age. Davidson is a southpaw. He just cracks Han with a right hook as Han tried to get a bit. Oh, nice straight left that backed up Han.
Yeah, they're all throwing off their jab. They're trying to see what openings they can get.
Beautiful straight left that connected by Davidson. Davidson representing his home area with the 913 across his belt line.
And I really like Marcell Davidson because I like the way he uses his jab and his reach distance to counter his opponents.
And how many times do we see in prize fighting where guys who are taller do not like to utilize that height advantage and their physical attributes?
They don't. We see that very often where fighters don't use the height to their advantage, and we see that a lot with southpaws, who southpaws don't use their angle and footwork to their advantage.
It's one thing to deal with the southpaw, it's another thing to deal with a tall southpaw. It's like two things that you have to be able to battle. One's hard enough as is, much less two.
Right.
Yeah. Ooh, clean punch. Think about Han. He's right when he's coming in, his hands are totally down, so he's going to get hit with a shot, and it could really hurt him bad.
I think that Han is being surprised by the fact that he's on the outside and he's getting cracked with things that typically he wouldn't get hit with.
Just rushing in with his hands down.
Yes, and the hardest punch to stay away from a southpaw is a left hook.
Another straight left connecting by Davidson.
And with the way Han is keeping his left hand down, he's going to get caught with that left hook coming in,
100%.
with that right hook coming inside.
Han is starting to get a bit discouraged. I think he's doubting himself because there's a right hand hook punch. Well, he landed something quality. Davidson dropped his hands for a brief moment, and then bang, Han cracked him. Maybe he was playing possum.
Marcell's going to keep on breaking him down with his jab, and if he comes in like that, there's another counter.
The right hook just like that. That's the most dangerous punch from a southpaw. The hardest punch to stay away from because
there's a straight left. Davidson has Han hurt. Han will go to the canvas.
He's going to finish him off.
Davidson looking for the finish. He is tattooing Han with those straight lefts. And Davidson starting to sit down in his punches more.
I love that about him. He's just staying calm and looking for that right shot because it's coming.
We are nearing the final moments of our first round between Marcell Davidson and Yoon Han.
Davidson's just breaking him down. He's taking his time. He knows what he's doing. He's confident.
Oh, there's a left and down goes Han.
Like I said.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
He obviously won that round.
Well, that's a 10-8 round in favor of Davidson, without question, with the knockdown.
Great round for Davidson. He showed poise, power, and great.
Taking a look at the knockdown there.
Here we see the knockdown with the straight right.
Ooh, clean punch.
Beautiful accuracy by Marcell Davidson.
He showed himself to be the better technical fighter in there in that first round, but we'll see if he can continue to do that in round 2, 3, 4. We'll see what he can do.
Marcell Davidson, 31 years of age, standing 6 feet 1 inch tall, knockout percentage of 66%, looking to increase that first round knockdown. Aside from the fact of getting the finish, it couldn't go much more according to plan for the Kansas City native, Sinisa.
Yeah, it was a perfect round for him. I think he did a good job at keeping his distance, and as he's doing there, he's using his reach to tap him with punches and then land those solid shots that have been putting Han down.
Han rushed in. Now he was doing some push-ups there with his gloves, was Marcell Davidson.
You always got to get a workout in no matter what.
Hey, look, David Tetro from Triller Fight Club knows that. Always be training.
You just catch him coming in. Counter after counter.
Yeah, Han is coming in. He did land a nice right hand in the first round, but Davidson shrugged it off. Other than that, it has been all Marcell Davidson. He's clearly using his height and his reach and getting a lot more leverage behind his shots, and that's problematic for Han.
Ooh, that was a good shot.
Han going the right hand. There's a right hand. And now Davidson ties up with him, spins him around. There's a right hand over the top by Han. Davidson, his trunk's falling a little bit. Things are getting chippy inside that ring, midway point of the second.
Han's going to continue to get hurt with shots. He's reckless, and he puts his hands down when he's coming in. He's going to get hit with continuous clean shots.
I like to see Marcell keep his distance again and tap, show and tap soft punches to land a solid shot and open up Han.
I think Davidson is getting a little too enamored with his power. I would like to see him double up on that jab, because that could be a sort of pestering mechanism, so he can land and set up that left hand that has been so advantageous to him here in the fight.
He sees everything coming at him, and then he just goes to work right when he comes in.
Marcell Davidson, his brother Marcus, will be fighting later tonight against Min-Wah Kim. Now Han just trying to make it a more physically taxing fight and close the distance, but to no avail.
Yeah, Han's going in there and he's trying to land that overhand left again. I think he knows that's the only shot that's going to be effective.
Han staying on the outside. He's trying to find something. If I were Han, though, Sinisa, I would attack the body, because the way to go ahead and get success against a taller fighter with so much body available to you because of physicality, physical purposes, is to try to chop down the tree.
I agree with you, working the body for sure, but I don't think Han knows how to get inside against a 6'1" southpaw to get to the body, so that's another issue for Han.
He's just throwing recklessly, trying to get in. But that's not going to work. He's just going to get countered.
Here's some of the action from the second.
And here we see Han coming in with that overhand right and landing it. And Marcell on the floor doing some push-ups there.
That was some athleticism.
Han again right here trying to come in with that overhand right. Marcell counters him on the way out.
So far, Kansas City representing quite well here in Seoul, South Korea.
Marcell's brother ringside, cheering him on.
Brothers always got to support each other.
Absolutely. We got a younger brother that does also commentary as well. Love him to death.
Today, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
He's doing another, somewhere in another part of the world. But our focus here is on Seoul, South Korea. The road to Seoul has finally come to a climax. Round number 3. This one's scheduled for 4. Nice left for Marcell. But look at how
got hurt. Marcell's hurt.
Oh, down he goes! Marcell Davidson got wobbled. How the tide changes. He's okay, but now that theoretically makes it an even fight. You figure 1 round difference. Oh my goodness, how the tide changes.
We'll see if Han can take advantage of that, though.
Well, 10-8 rounds certainly advantageous to him. Overhand right, he clocked Davidson.
This is where Davidson needs to be cautious, because Han is coming in confident right now after that blow.
He needs to use his reach when he comes in.
That's the problem when you decide to get too enamored with your power, and a first round knockdown can be a good thing for you, or it can be the complete opposite.
Absolutely. It can definitely be the complete opposite, which is what we're seeing now. Like we were saying earlier, your opponent can adjust to your power if you start too early.
I see Marcell making the adjustments now, though. So
there's a straight left
do that.
connecting for Marcell Davidson. Well, credit to Han, and you knew that the fighters here from Seoul, South Korea were not going to lie down and just hand over victories to the North American fighters.
Caught him coming in. Caught him coming in.
Left. for Davidson.
No, they're tough fighters. I've faced them before, and I know how much heart and pride they have. And even if they get dropped, they're gonna stand back up and they're gonna continue to fight and try to win.
Marcell's hitting with good punches now.
Well, Marcell has settled in. I think what was impressive is you can tell a young prospect, how do they handle adversity? And so far, he could have panicked being in a foreign country.
Ooh,
Big
that's a
straight
great
left
punch.
down,
He's hurt.
goes on.
Han is hurt, man.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Yoon Bin Han, both men are undefeated. Marcell Davidson looking to elevate his record to 4-0. He has a 66% knockout percentage. He was dropped, but he is now starting to gain some success. Davidson drops Han. But no, they rule it a slip. They rule it saying that it's over. Okay, so this one is over. Marcell Davidson gets knocked down in the round, comes back, gathers himself, gets the victory, and remains undefeated as the undefeated record of Yoon Bin Han goes by the wayside.
That was definitely a good call. If they would have let it continue, Han would have, I believe he would have got knocked out.
Made the adjustments, came out victorious.
So Marcell Davidson victorious. And look, we'll take a look, Amir, at some of the action in the fight with Marcell Davidson. And to his credit, he went out there, he got knocked down, but was able to respond, gather, circle the wagons, and come out and get the finish.
Marcell's just the better fighter, technically. When Han would come in, he would have his hands low, and he would get caught, and that led to him getting knocked out.
That was an impressive performance. But you know what? Look at this. Talk us through what you saw, Amir.
Just clean punches. Every time Han came in with his hands low, he just took advantage of that.
And down it went. And it took the referee a little bit of time. He hesitated because he initially ruled it a slip, but then he said, nope, fight's over. Maybe he saw something in the eyes of Yoon Bin Han to deem him. And here's our ring announcer.
Yeah, Han was definitely hurt.
Marcell Davidson.
So Marcell Davidson victorious here tonight. He's standing by with our very own Sinisa Estrada.